Hay mucha gente que toma mucho riesgo para venir a este país porque están en una situación desesperada económicamente. Historically, many past immigrants have risked their lives to come here for the dream of a better life. The Pilgrims, they arrived without papers. Why were they not deported? We celebrate Christopher Columbus as the great discoverer of the New World. He arrived without papers also, and he had the audacity to bring 3 ships of other illegals with him. At least the Pilgrims only had 1 ship, but the Native Americans should have sent all their asses back to Europe. Los peregrinos, Cristóbal Colón y todos esos pendejos europeos fueron los primeros ilegales en las Américas.
Todos esos europeos pendejos fueron los primeros ilegales en las Américas. ¡Punto! Todos esos pendejos europeos fueron los primeros ilegales en las Américas. Boom! Ooh, performance art at GALA Hispanic Theatre. I think I'm going to start to panic. Some jokes I do just for me. Pablo, I knew him well. Esoteric Shakespeare reference number 35. I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my caramel brown baby there. She was an undocumented immigrant worker. She had cleaned out the Superdome and Convention Center, but nobody was there to cry for her. Sin papeles, se murió trabajando por una miseria de dólares, su sudor y su sangre regalando. She was living in a parallel universe, in a bizarre science fiction reality. Ubiquitous and invisible, simultaneously reconstructing the city that Kerr and Bush forgot. But like much of her brown Latino family, her pain and suffering doesn't mean a lot to the likes of you and gringos generally. Era una mujer mestiza invisible. Para los blancos en general, como mucha de su gente indocumentada, sufriendo en la plena oscuridad, aguantando brutalidad policial y deportaciones de la pinche inmigración. Sin comida y sin casa se encontraba, combatiendo tristeza y soledad. En la calle se murió abandonada. En un país donde sobra el dinero y la libertad, I went down to St. James Infirmary. My body overcome by grief, but I am here to tell her story. And those of my brown paperback people, because it's my destiny. After seeing my caramel brown baby there, dead at St. James Infirmary, I went down to the river and cried some more. With tears, I plotted this performance for her revenge. I went down to St. James Infirmary. Because I create from pain. Ooh. Another version for the lexicon. Oh, after an opening like that, I need a drink. And I'm from New Orleans, baby, so I carry my own. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying it. Here we go. We got a petition. Pídele a Legua que nos abra el camino. We petition Legua to open wide the crossways and the pathways for our people crossing every day, every hour, every second to reclaim what was ours in the first place, because the land never had any borders. We petition Yemaya, the Mother Earth, Oshun, Shango the warrior, and we say Ashe, and we say Ashe.
Ashe.
There we go. Hey, ow! Firewater. I don't even know what's in there anymore. Pero está rico y suave como yo. You know, I feel a little green. I feel a little alien green. I feel a little extraterrestrial green. I feel a little Martian green. I feel a little Thespian green. Verde, como me siento. Verde, extraterrestre. Verde, sin mi tarjeta. Verde, que supuestamente me marca como verde ilegal. Green, I feel a little alien green, extraterrestrial green, my favorite Martian green, supposedly legal with the green card, undocumented green, distrustful state green, Otis the Thespian green, broccoli of the many meals, we pick for you green, guacamole, you can't live without green, jalapeno, revolution, here we come green. Verde como me siento, verde extraterrestre, verde sin mi tarjeta, verde que supuestamente me marca como verde ilegal. Verde sospechoso, verde odioso, verde del brócoli, verde que lo reconozco nuestras manos para tu cena. Verde del aguacate dulce y sabroso que lo comes sin mucha pena. Verde de jalapeños verdes, picante, picante, picante como la revolución que viene verde, rica como salsita verde de mi gente verde orgullosa trabajando día y noche con manos que se vuelven verdes y moradas por el verde doloroso. ¡Ay, caramba! Green, I feel a little alien green, extraterrestrial green, my favorite Martian green, supposedly illegal with green card, undocumented green, distrustful state green, Otis the Thespian green, broccoli of the many meals you pick for you, we pick for you green. Ow! Guacamole, you can't live without green. Jalapeno revolution, here we come green. Green of your painful greenbacks that we earn with our green veins plus because of our resilient cactus green spirit that will boycott the Arizona venom green inside a law that leads to pus green of infected minds and polluted battery acid green souls. But I know not all you green, not all you green, not all you green goes hate like that. Like that green greed that exploits immigrant labor and our green alien vulnerability. As endangered as the swamp green of Louisiana. Threatened by British petroleum logo green, black oil spill, transforming the green blue waters of the Gulf into a Greenpeace emergency. With their putrid lies that the oil has disappeared into the green ecosphere, just like that. Ay caramba! Bienvenidos to the hemispheric Americas, to aborlicitos without NSA security supervision, without Fox propaganda, bullshit mountain television, and without those vigilante Minutemen whose desperate housewives must be longing for Latino interjections. Maybe that's why they call themselves, yes, maybe that's why they call themselves Minutemen in the first place. Hunting down Latinos because we, baby, we last longer than Duracell. And the Energizer Bunny ain't got nothing on our people's persistence because we keep on going and going and going and going and crushing and crushing and crushing every day, every hour, every second to reclaim what was ours in the first place. Google the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty of 1848 and you will discover that the northern territories of Mexico from Texas to California, Oklahoma, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, California, were all appropriated by Uncle Sam's hunger, were all appropriated by Uncle Sam's hunger to manifest imperial destiny. Just like that. And the rightful Mexican landowners became a subjugated underclass. Foreigners in our own lands. Foreigners in our own land. And English, a forced language. Spanish was broken on the backs of every Mexican child forbidden to speak it. Ay caramba. Verde, como me siento. Verde, extraterrestre. Verde, sin mi tarjeta. Verde, que supuestamente me marca como verde ilegal. I feel a little black and blue and green. Why? Why were they not supported? With Columbus and his 3 ships, the Europeans were the first illegal aliens in the hemispheric Americas. Take that to the bank. Baby, darling, boo, who, you. You know what I'm saying, baby. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And let's make sure we understand. Ningún ser humano es ilegal. La gente. Ningún ser humano es ilegal. 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 No human being is illegal. No human being is illegal. No human being is illegal. No tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. Ay, no tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. No tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. No tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. Damn, we're going to have to go on the road with that. Ow! All right, GALA Hispanic Theatre, look at you participating. It's not just theater, baby. It's not a voyeuristic experience. It's performance art. It's participatory performance. Ow! No tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. And you Agent Orange of Chaos, you deposed Agent Orange of Chaos, you hater in chief, you want to be dick, you want to be dictator, you want to be fascist, you with your orange comb over hiding many burning crosses on fire that ignited to fever pitch every time you give another speech to make America hate again. You and your deplorable minions. You, with Jefferson Beauregard Sessions previously at your side, who scripted into law your zero tolerance policy, a living monument to the Confederacy, where you jailed children in cages, where mothers were forced to drink and quench their thirst and drink toilet water. It can't happen here. Oh, baby, it's still happening. Let's make sure we remember. We got to remind Biden. I'm going to have to go over and walk to that White House and yell at him and say, hey, there's still concentration camps at the border, baby. Let's not forget. Come on, Kamala Harris. Let's not forget. Let's dare to remember we still have those border camps. COVID is absorbing all the news, but we're forgetting about the concentration camps, like AOC called it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You know what? I can't wait till I vote for her for presidente. Presidenta, imagínate eso, chico. Ow! No tengo paciencia para gente sin conciencia. So you Agent Orange of Chaos, you hater-in-chief with your deplorable minions. You in my universe, there's no guacamole for immigrant haters, no guacamole for immigrant haters, no guacamole for immigrant haters, no guacamole for immigrant haters. And you Agent Orange of Chaos, there's no guacamole for immigrant haters, and you can't even go near the chips. Come on, the audience goes wild. The audience goes wild. Saitami, Dramatic Life Rate number 69. Oh, órale.
Embassy of the United States of America, Ljubljana, Slovenia, December 7th, 1998. To the Transportation Company and the Supervisory Immigrant Inspector, U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service at Port of Entry. Sir, Madam, based on secondary evidence presented listed below, the American Embassy in Ljubljana has determined that Mr. José Torres-Tama, born March 3, 1961 in Ecuador, is a lawful resident alien of the United States of America. Alien registration card number A180555955. An airline may accept this letter as assurance that the above-named alien may be transported to the United States of America in the period from December 8th, 1998 to December 18th, 1998, without danger of penalty imposed by Section 273B of the Immigration and Naturalization Act as amended. The above-named person has been instructed to present the original of this letter to the transportation company on which travel to the United States is intended. The above-named person has also been instructed to present the duplicate of this letter to the immigration officer at the United States Port of Entry. The immigration officer will determine whether to admit the alien or to defer inspection for further inquiry. Whether to admit the alien or to defer inspection, admit the alien or to defer the alien.
I'm in. Esoteric matrix reference number 31. I was a pretty good-looking alien back then, no? Some jokes I do just for me. Alien child in natural habitat. Yo soy un inmigrante, también con la piel de otra tierra lejana, de Sudamérica, del Ecuador, de Guayaquil, y yo crucé con mi madre, escapando, un padre malhechero, egoísta, abusivo, y por eso no había solución. Más que cruzar como inmigrante, que cruza, porque sueño de cruzar, siempre sabe más que tú. El inmigrante cruza el inmigrante cruza por libertad social y religiosa, el inmigrante cruza por escapar persecución política. El inmigrante cruza por un sueño que siempre sabe más que tú. El inmigrante cruza por varias razones, por escapar persecución política. The immigrant crosses for various reasons: for economical necessity, to escape political persecution, for social and religious freedoms, because the act of crossing is a physical poem. It's a mythic undertaking. It's a rebellious scream, because sometimes you simply have to cross, because sometimes the border crosses you, because the dream of crossing knows more than you. Yo digo el sueño, yo digo el sueño, yo digo el sueño sabe más que tú. And sometimes because the border crosses you. I arrived in the United States at the tender age of 7 with my mother. She was brave enough to make the leap from Ecuador, from Guayaquil City to New York City, with barely a few words in English to negotiate her passage, with a suitcase full of hope and her only child. As we were held for customs inspection at the port of Miami, we had to make sacrifices at the altar of the New World, because sacrifices needed to be made to enter the kingdom, to enter the land of opportunity. My first reality jolt came when my two last names were severed from each other because of a rather incomprehensible appetite for abbreviation in this English-only world dominated by monosyllabic name combinations such as John Smith, Bob King, Tom Jones. My full and more melodic birth name of José Eduardo Torres-Tama Alfaro was reduced to José Torres in the southern vernacular. It was a butchering of a metaphoric umbilical cord, connecting me to the ghost of all my dead relatives. I was reduced to José Torres. And if you look up José Torres in the New York phone book in those white pages at that time, you would see thousands of us stuck together because of a very common Spanish first name, and the last one just as popular. José Torres. I was reduced to José Torres, and I became a permanent resident alien. And what you have to understand, within the Latin cultural traditions, within the Latin cultural tradiciones, your two last names help to archive your ancestry, connect you to your family history. And if you yell out José in a Latino barrio, half the neighborhood turns around. You know that. And then you yell out Maria, and the other half turns around. We know that. I became a permanent resident alien. Now, I normally leave my antennas at home because as an alien, you know, the antennas, they scare people. And it's difficult to negotiate narrow hallways. But, you know, today in the new millennium, in the digital age, NSA, National Security Agency, has just planted a chip in the back of my neck because they know. They want to keep tabs on me because they know that I'm an agent from Her Majesty's Secret Salsa Service with a license to transport subversive performance art across state lines and international waters. Some jokes I do just for me, I told you that. Now, with this digital chip in the back of my neck, depending on where I am, like when I was in Los Angeles, I got a little Disney Channel. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You know, the Seven Dwarfs had no papers. I'm just telling you, they never told you that part of the story. But when I was in New York, I got a little HBO. I got that show about New Orleans called Treme. All right, note to self, the Treme joke just died a terrible death in D.C. There's no cultural reference for it. Yo me sentía como un monstruo. Mi brazo totalmente inflado, hinchado, como una llanta fea. I feel like a monster, like a green alien. My arm swollen, blown up like a bad balloon. My fingers crooked, pointing to the sky. I come to New Orleans like many Latino people. We were brought in, thousands of us, to reconstruct the city. Yo llegué 2 semanas después de Katrina en septiembre de 2005. Como miles que nos entraron indocumentados para hacer la limpieza, hacer el trabajo que nadie quería hacer. Y yo hice ese trabajo. Y al principio nos pagaban bien, pero después los explotaron. At first they pay us what they tell us. $200 a day, that's good money for me. Then later they stopped paying, not what they promised. So I stand on street corners. And in May of 2006, like any day laborer, y lo que tienen que entender es cuando alguien se para en una esquina pidiendo, buscando trabajo, se arriesga mucho. But you have to understand that you risk so much when you wait on a corner for work. And this happened to me in May of 2006. I wait on corner. A patron comes, he wants 2 people only. He points to me and my compadre. And we go with him. We get into the truck. Y nos lleva en el camión a una casa para sacar toda la mugre podrida. Y entramos and we walk into water because the city and some parts are still flooded. We walk into water past our knees. El agua contaminada aquí a nuestras rodillas y no nos daban el equipo adecuado. They did not give us gloves or masks. I'm walking with sneakers in this putrid water. Many compadres, they get sick, contaminated water. But we walk in and we do this work. And we're pulling this putrid, toda esta mugre, estos muebles pudridos. And then contractors say he wants us to move the big tonnage, the big dumpster. Weighing a tonnage, he wants us to move it closer to the house. So we do this. We have no choice. We're there to work. He gives us this little jack. Y comenzamos. We begin to try to move this tonnage with this little jack. And then my partner, he say I scream like an animal, like a dog. The jack slipped. The dumpster, iron tonnage, crushing my hand. Me está aplastando la mano, los huesos, los hoyos quebrando. I'm screaming. The contractor did not do anything, not even call an ambulance. My friend, he began desperately to bring the jack and get my hand out para sacar mi mano. Tengo la mano como unos 5 minutos, my hand underneath the tonnage for about 5 minutes. We pull it out. La mano, it is split in half. My fingers are dangling. There is blood, a pool of blood all over the cement. Contractors still not do nothing. No hace nada el patrón. My friend, they fortunately have a cell phone. He called an ambulance. I am screaming. I am bleeding. I get to the hospital. And nurses and doctors never see anything like this. My arm is already blown up. They tell me, we have to cut your arm. ¿Cómo así? Yo vine de Honduras a trabajar, limpiando la mugre de esa tormenta. Ahora me dicen que tengo que regresar sin un brazo. And then, what I like to call divine intervention, una intervención divina. El doctor mayor, un señor afroamericano, a black man, he was the chief surgeon. He said, no, we not cut your arm. That's too traumatic for you. He says he has a son my same age. I am 19 years old at this moment. He says, no, we reconstruct your hand. Surgeries, we not cut off your hand. Les tengo que decir obviamente, and I have to tell you, all of the nurses and doctors that wanted to cut off my arm, they were white. It took this black man that saw me as his son and his kind eyes to decide not to cut my arm, to reconstruct my hand. He saw me as a human being. I will never forget his kind eyes. A year later, I see him coming out of the Walgreens near the University Hospital in downtown New Orleans. And he sees my hand, he says, good, getting better. Este señor me salvó mi brazo, me reconstruyó la mano. And nobody will tell you these stories. Nadie te va a contar esto. No one will tell you these stories. But nosotros reconstruimos la ciudad de Nueva Orleans. Nosotros reconstruimos esa ciudad. I hated being dirty. Yo odiaba estar mugre. Odiaba estar tan sucio. They said they had housing for us. Housing. They put 16 men in a trailer for 2 people. 16 men in a trailer for 2 people, 1 bathroom. Un baño, nos tenías que levantar a las 4 de la mañana para comenzar a limpiarlos. We have to be ready by 7 a.m. and we make a line to clean ourselves in this 1 bathroom. They treat us like animals. Anderson Cooper was there. He got his show, big show, because he said the most obvious thing. He never once talked about the inhumane human rights violations of immigrant workers. No, because we don't matter to his program. Let's make sure you understand that certain news will not get to you. Nosotros, we have to tell our own stories. I hated being dirty. Nadie te va a contar esto. No one is going to tell you these stories. And now in New Orleans, we are being erased. We are being forgotten after nearly 16 years of the storm. This book, este libro, published by the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities, a state arts agency, has disappeared us, white scholars, escritores blancos, white scholars with the privilege to disappear our people. There's a post-Katrina chapter. There's not even a sentence about the fact that thousands of us reconstructed New Orleans. This book, I have to be careful with that book because I got to bring it to the library. I borrowed it. The LEH, with the power, Jose has been holding them accountable for 3 years, but they take refuge in their white denial. We have to tell our own stories. And this is not theater, this is a ritual. Esto es un rito para nuestra gente, para contar nuestros cuentos. Nosotros no venimos a robar, no venimos a hacer maldades, venimos a trabajar, a subir este país y nos tratan como basura. Who repairs your cars? Who rebuilds your houses after the many hurricanes or natural and man-made disasters? Who busses your tables at the many restaurants here? Who cleans the garbage in the early morning and cleans your corporate towers in the late of midnight? Who are these invisible people you don't even dare to make eye contact with? Sí, yo soy lo que ustedes llaman ilegal. Yo crucé ilegalmente cuando era una niña de 8 años, cruzando con mis 3 hermanitas, cruzando en la medianoche, cruzando el Río Grande. Claro que teníamos miedo. Nadie nos dijo que era ilegal. Mi mamá me dijo que teníamos que cruzar con mi tía como nuestra única guía. Nobody said it was illegal. My mother said we were crossing with our aunt as our only guide and a full moon as our witness. We were crossing
to reunite with our father, who had escaped Nicaragua to escape the Civil War. I was scared, and I'm what you call illegal here. But I'm also a human being. I am a refugee from a war the United States had much to do with. Do you know that the United States occupied Nicaragua in the early part of the 20th century? You may not know that because your voluntary amnesia protects you. Yes, and the Sandinista rebels, they called themselves Sandinistas to honor Cesar Augusto Sandina, a revolutionary rebel of Nicaragua who opposed the U.S. occupation and invasion. And they named themselves Sandinistas to honor him because he was killed in a trap by the Guardia Nacional, supported by the United States. And let's dare to remember, the United States supported 40 years of Somoza family dictatorships. 40 años de dictadura, aquí apoyada con los Estados Unidos, apoyando dictadura y nuestra gente sufriendo. I was crossing to see my father for the first time. I was crossing to see him, and you call me illegal. We have to squeeze the poison out of these words. Y yo lo digo ahora, sí, yo soy ilegal. ¿Y qué? Hay mucha gente latina que me dice, ay, mija, no lo digas tan alto, te va a oír la gente. Pues que me oigan. Soy un ser humano. Y soy un refugiado de una guerra. And what did your Ronald Reagan president, you name an airport after him, what did he do? Understand? He forgot. He forgot. Do you think the Nicaraguan people, we forgot? We did not forget. For 10 años nuestra gente comía guerra. Comía guerra por el desayuno. Comía guerra por el almuerzo. Comía guerra por la merienda. For 10 years, my people, we ate war. We ate war for breakfast. We ate war for dinner. We did not forget that your President Reagan gave arms and weapons, traded them for cocaine to support the Contras. We do not forget these things. But we, the other people, we are caught between your government, their lies and their bullets. I get very emotional when I think about this story, because all I was doing was crossing to see my father for the first time. And I would cross any border again and again illegally just to be with my father. I was in my mother's womb. Yo estaba adentro de mi madre antes de que se fue mi padre, escapando Nicaragua, la guerra civil. I am here. I am here because you are there. All I want to do is see my father for the first time. What is so illegal about that? I was crossing to see my father for the first time with my 3 little sisters, 4 little girls crossing the Rio Grande por la medianoche. Claro que teníamos miedo. Y me da tanta pena, pero me salen las lágrimas cuando recuerdo esto. I was crossing to see my father. I am here because you are there. I am here because you, your government, your weapons are there. Yo estoy aquí porque ustedes están allá. Yo estoy aquí porque ustedes están allá. Yo estoy aquí porque ustedes están allá. I am here because you are there.
under orange alert. Please wear your orange alert underwear at all times, even when walking the dog. Please wear your orange alert and your mask at all times, even when having sex with yourselves. Please wear protection when having sex with yourselves, because you don't know where you've been during those pandemic nightmares. You may have been out cruising the streets. So please, we are under orange alert. Please, we are under orange alert. God damn, we're under orange alert all the time now. Come on now, Saitami, can you give me some lights over here? Come on now, thank you. Give it up for Saitami up there on the lights. Come on now. Come on. We put this little show together a few minutes before you got here. Because we do it Latino late. You know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm telling you, them Latino people, they got me worried. They do, because they're spreading and they got you talking that Spanish. And you know what's happening? Them Latino people that helped to vote in the Biden and the Kamala Harris group, I'm telling you, they're growing. You know why? Because they're having a lot of caliente sex. Okay, maybe you don't have any sex. Them Latino people, they're having it. And then you got to go, and they got you talking that Spanish everywhere you go. You go to that Starbucks, and what do you got to do? You got to ask for a grande. Grande. Why can't you just call it big? That's what it is. Grande. They make it sound sexy, and then you got to pay grande dólares for that mocha java cappuccino made in Colombia with a smiley face that makes my wallet sad. I'm telling you, them Latino people, they're everywhere you go, and they got you talking that Spanish. You go to that Taco Bell, and what do you got to do? You got to ask for a quesadilla. You go there, and then you got to ask for a chimichanga. What the hell is a chimichanga? It sounds like some kind of ruin from like Chichen Itza. Some jokes I do just for Rebecca. I'm telling you, them Latino people are real. Okay, how many Latino people do we have here? See, we already got too many of you. And it's GALA Hispanic Theatre. You know what? Them Hispanic people, they make me panic. This is pantomime. And them Cubans, goddamn Cubans, they come in all kinds of colors. I'm telling you, my next door neighbor, I knew him as Peter. And all of a sudden during the Obama years when he made the offerings to open the puerta to La Puerta to Havana and to Cuba, all of a sudden my next door neighbor, he has a Bienvenidos to Cuba party and he wants me to call him Pedro. And I knew him as Peter. He's white, he's got brownish reddish hair. And you know what happened? He came out of the Cuban closet. There's a Cuban closet, I'm telling you. And there's a lot of Cubans in it. He came out of that closet and wants me to call him Pedro. And then all of his families, his extended family came. And some of them were Latino, Cuban, and black. It scared the shit out of me. He told me they were Afro-Cuban. I was like, damn, Afro-Cuban? That's like black and Latino. That's like Roberto Clemente all over again. That's esoteric baseball reference number 31. Just if you're keeping up. I'm telling you, them Latino people, they're everywhere. They're growing into demographic cultural power. I don't even know what that means. But it's not good for the electorate, because we white people, we're going to become a minority very soon. I'm telling you. And, oh my God. You see the kind of cheap props they give me in this show? I'm telling you. And then, but I got to be honest with you, that Jennifer Lopez, damn. She's a fine quesadilla. And she's like, she's like 55, and she's Puerto Rican. What, 51?
Yeah.
I know, man. See, you know. Like, you got tabs, but you're probably on her Facebook page, right? You know Jennifer, J-Lo, right? And J-Lo, and I gotta tell you, I have to use some of that Viagra. But it don't work on me. My hand just goes up. And then I gotta pleasure myself, I'm telling you. Some jokes I do just for me. And then, but them Latino people, I know they're working hard, and you know, we love to exploit their labor because goddamn, we know we love to exploit labor, and this whole combination here, this confuses me. I think this is some performance art. Performance art? You get it on your way out. The dollar bills and the crosses. I think that boy's trying to say something. I gotta tell you, them performance artists, they worry me. You gotta keep a tab on them. So remember, you gotta be careful. They got you talking in Spanish everywhere you go. And what do I gotta say now? Gracias.
A possible lynching in a New York suburb should be more than enough to force this country to acknowledge the bitter chill that has overcome Latinos in these days of rage against illegal immigration. The atmosphere began to darken when Republican politicians decided a few years ago to exploit immigration as a wedge issue. They drafted harsh legislation to criminalize the undocumented. They cheered as vigilantes streamed to the border to confront the concocted crisis of Spanish-speaking workers sneaking in to steal jobs and spread diseases. A campaign of raids and deportations led by federal agents with help from state and local posses has become so pervasive that nearly 1 in 10 Latinos, including citizens and legal immigrants, have told of being stopped and asked about their immigration status, according to the Pew Hispanic Center. Now that the economy is in a free fall, the possibility of scapegoating is deepening Hispanic anxiety. New York Times, editorial, November 10th, 2008.
This is getting deep, no? It's getting heavy. It's starting to look and sound a lot like performance art. Ooh, I'm gonna bring you a moment of levity. Saitami, give me some Pachuco light effects, no? Órale. Ow! Look at you during these COVID times. They call me El Pachuco of interracial and interplanetary love of the future. Okay, you gotta get excited about that, huh? You gotta be, it's, look, we're back together again after a full COVID year of no theater, right? Yeah, enthusiasm, yes, thank you. Gracias, yes, enthusiasm, but I'm gonna give you another opportunity, okay?
Okay.
Listen up. I'm gonna go to that side of the stage, because we haven't used that side of the stage enough, right? We gotta make love, equal opportunity love. I'm gonna go to that side of the stage. I'm going to introduce myself all over again. I'm gonna put on a whole new voice for you. And when I hit center stage, all of you, you go wild. You throw your children up in the air if you don't have them. You throw your invisible babies up in the air. Right? You make all kinds of noise. Like, because this is a moment when I call out my name in a whole different voice. This is a moment of spontaneous, prompted performance applause. With alliteration in there for good measure, okay? So are you with me?
Yeah.
Orale, look at you, yeah. Yeah, Pachuco, we're with you because we're COVID released now. So I'm gonna walk over there. Because we walk like that. Orale. Orale. What's up?
órale, ¿qué pasó?
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, enchiladas and burritos. Here he is. He's a hybrid specimen, apparently born in East LA, of Mexican descent, but born in the USA, calls himself a Chicano. I don't even know what that means, but it's in the invisible script. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, a hybrid specimen of the United States. Here he is, El Pachuco of interracial and interplanetary love of the future.
Looking good or what? Am I looking good? I know, I'm looking caliente. Check out the red jacket, no? Come on. No, I know, I'm looking guapo, no? I know, I feel so excited, like my chichis are oh, my chichis, my nipples are getting hard. Sometimes I touch myself just for me, okay? So, now, here we are, COVID live. Let's give it up for Rebecca Medrano and Abel Lopez. Come on, give it up for opening up. We gotta give it up for the people. And we gotta give it up for the people that have been helping. Delvis Cardona, give it up. Delvis is from Venezuela. He's from Venezuela, but we gotta work him like a Mexican immigrant. Yeah, he's getting no lunch, no. And then we had Hallie. We had some white people here, and we had them working hard. I'm telling you. And then we had an intern. Natalie, is Natalie in the room? Where's Natalie? Oh no, Natalie's gone. Natalie's an intern, which is a fancy word for labor exploitation. Yeah, it is. Some jokes I do just for Natalie, no? That she's not even here. All right, no, times are hard. But let me tell you, this is my new outfit. I'm looking good because this is my new outfit for my new show on HBO called Latino Eye for the White Guy. Yes, that's going to be a new show coming up next season, and that's where I, El Pachuco of Interracial Interplanetary Love of the Future, I offer the seductive measures on that show, Latino Eye for the White Guy, the seductive measures of Latino lovers to those clueless white boys. You know, you've seen them walking around in their Birkenstock sandals with their feet and that fochi and that fungus all over that big toe. Yeah, you know, because you've seen them, no, walking around with their white privilege, no. I got one word for that, kill it, Desonex. All right, that's a commercial from the 70s, no? All right. No, we're having flashbacks. No, I'm so happy to be here. Ow, look at live show at GALA Hispanic Theatre. No, we're almost there. We're almost to the, we've been in this BC before COVID, and we're almost in the AC after COVID. Yeah. You could share that with other people. Remember the source. Okay. No, we're gonna be okay. But I think it's good that you're wearing masks. No, it's good because Jose and me, we got vaccinated. Absolutely. No. You have to understand that Latinos, we're going to be ruling the future of GinGoLandia, and we're going to be looking good. Órale ese. We're going to be looking stylish. And I can't wait to vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for the first Latina woman president, no? Ow! Come on now. AOC. Yeah, órale. No, absolutely. I love that Puerto Rican woman from the Bronx, breaking it down all the time. No, but I have to tell you, during that last election, and actually in 2016, I was feeling the burn. Yeah, I was feeling the burn. No, but Bernie, for some reason, with all that insight, no, we got to talk about the 1%, right? With all that insight, somehow he didn't see the fact that all his audiences were white. Nobody told him, and that's why he didn't get enough of us. We were with him, but I have to tell you that in this last election, no, after Nevada, I thought Bernie was doing good, no? He was like ahead. And then I go to Mexico, I come back, and Biden is doing better. No, and I wasn't excited about Biden because Biden was in the shadow of Obama when Obama deported 3 million of our people. Let's dare to remember, because I found myself between Barack and the GOP hard place on immigration reform. All right, let that roll over you. Between Barack and the GOP hard place on immigration reform during those 8 years, let's dare to remember, because everyone gets so choked up about Barack Obama on Facebook. No, he was the deporter-in-chief. We get played by both sides. Let's dare to remember, you know, the Republicans, they'll fuck us hard. But the Democrats, they'll use a little KY jelly, give you a joint, and still fuck you. But we got no choice. There's only 2 parties. Come on now. Ain't no party with 2-party system. No. No, and I gotta tell you, we need more love. Do we not? We need more love? Yes. How many of you have love? And you know, DC serves international. How many of you have made love to someone recently from another country who speaks another language? Let me see the hands. Okay, none of you have sex here in DC. You could just raise your hand. How many of you have made love to someone who speaks another language from another country? Oh, we're Puritans. Yeah, good, look at you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, who did you make love to? Oh, she's right now. And you are from where?
New York.
New York?
That's another country.
And you are from where?
Yes, I'm from New York.
You from New York?
Yeah.
And he's from New York?
Yeah.
But did you like cross the water from somewhere? Were you born somewhere else?
No, my grandfather did.
Oh yeah, from where?
Italy.
Italy, Italiano. Look at you. Okay, good, good, good. No, we need more love. We need more interracial, interplanetary love of the future, because we got too much hate. No, and I'm here in DC, and you know, you got a lot of Latino restaurants and Mexican restaurants. So I walked into a restaurant the other day looking fabulous, no? And I was right there, and I walk in, and you could hear the music going, wah, wah, wah. And I walk in, and I'm looking around, I'm like, wah, wah, wah. And then this blonde girl comes over to me and says, "Donde está el baño?" And I'm like, "El baño está allá." She was making an effort to cross into GinGoLandia, so I wanted to show solidarity for her. Yes. And you know, when I cross the border, I love to cross the border during low tide with my low rider. I was going chicka, 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 choom, chicka, choom. And I'm crossing with my low rider during low tide, and I've got 50 little U.S. flags adorning my hood. Because I'm nationalistic like that. And I got 50 little U.S. flags made in China. Because I'm global like that. Yeah, when I cross, I like to cross with a Mickey Mouse towel. But I like to use the Minnie Mouse side. All right, just think about that. You'll get that joke when you go back home. No, we need more love because there's too much hate. No. And the deportations, have they been brutal or what? Hey, Pachuco, they think they're watching theater, no? They forget that it's a performance piece. Have the deportations been brutal?
Yeah.
Yes! And I gotta break it down for you, right? You don't hear anymore about the Taco Bell Chihuahua. Remember him? Yo quiero Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Teaching you Spanish before Beto O'Rourke and Cory Booker. Right? Speaking Spanish way there. Yo quiero Taco Bell. And you have to understand that the Taco Bell Chihuahua, he got caught in an immigration raid. You don't see him anymore because he was in East LA retiring from his Taco Bell Chihuahua money, you know, because he did that commercial because his coyote cousins, they crossed him across the border when he's just a little baby Chihuahua, and his dream was to work in Hollywood, and he got that great big gig because he spoke Spanish, no? He was one of the first speaking Chihuahuas ever. And then he had become vegetarian. No. hold on with me. He had become vegetarian, and he was at a Subway sandwich spot in LA, in East LA in Boyle Heights. And the immigration ICE agents raided that place. And they find the Taco Bell Chihuahua, and the Taco Bell Chihuahua had been working in LA without papers. That joke worked really well in LA. And they deported the Taco Bell Chihuahua. You don't see him anymore. They deported him, and he's from Chihuahua, and they deported. They deported the Taco. Yeah, you finally get. They deported the Taco Bell Chihuahua all the way back to Mexico, and they sent him to Oaxaca. Because ICE raid agents, they don't know what's going on, and he's from Chihuahua, and he had to grab a Greyhound bus to get to Chihuahua to see his family. No, you don't hear about him because he got deported from LA, and I'm telling you, the deportations are brutal. But I need you to know, to understand that the entire Southwest, that used to be part of Northern Territories of Mexico. You have to Google the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty of 1848. And me, this persona that you see, this Chicano persona, Jose is a Chicano wannabe. Who wrote this? Yeah, because Jose is an Ecuadorian performance artist. That's a lonely club of one. Yes, he's also an Ecuadorian performance artist and a Latino vegetarian. That's a contradiction in terms. I'm telling you. So Google the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty, but above all, Google Ruiz Valdez. How many of you know about Ruiz Valdez? No? Yeah, you know, because Ruiz Valdez is considered a Chicano godfather of Mexican and Latino theater, and he wrote this play called Zoot, and Edward James almost became famous doing this. Pachuco Vato going, órale, la chingada y la pachucada. Okay, you gotta watch that movie. So, you Google Ruiz Valdez because Latinos, we love to Google. I love to say Google. Google, 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 Google. But Google is actually a Latin term. Yes, Google is actually an old Aztec term. From the Aztec goddess, Google Quetzalcoatl, which means look shit up, ese. Know your history in the United States of Amnesia. Así que,
afinen los oídos, despierten la subconsciencia y ajusten sus cinturones filosóficos. Do not be afraid, amigos y amigas, porque se habla español aquí. Do not be afraid of the Spanish language, because tostitos are here to stay. In fact, we are new and improved, fat-free, and good for the economy. So if you're bilingually challenged, sharpen your ears, awake your subconscious, and adjust your philosophical seatbelts, because it's still early in the new millennium of the 21st century.
Así que America, as in the hemispheric Americas, as in Central and South America, as in North America, it's just part of it. Así que America, you love the food, but you dehumanize the cooks. America, as in North America, you love your huevos rancheros, no? You pay $25 for a brunch and huevos rancheros with avocado and toast. You love your pupusas from El Salvador. You love your ceviche from Ecuador. But you dehumanize the cooks in GinGoLandia. No, America, as in North America, wake up and smell the café con leche. Saitami, dramatic fade. Number 69. Órale.
On November 7th, 2008, shortly after Barack Obama was elected, Marcel Lucero, a 37-year-old Ecuadorian legal resident of the United States, was stabbed to death in a Long Island town by one of 6 teenagers who jumped him. The teens were out on a night of beaner hopping, which is slang for the sport of beating Mexicans or Hispanics. Beaner is a derogatory term used against Latinos of Mexican descent, but it is applied generally as a racial slur against all Latinos. Marcel Lucero was a law-abiding legal resident who had lived in the United States for 16 years. He sent money home regularly from his dry cleaning job to his mother in Ecuador, who was a cancer survivor. and a night of beaner hopping, all Latinos, regardless of specific ethnicity, were open targets. 5 of the 6 assailants were white, and 1 of the teens was of mixed race, Latino and African American.
En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. En el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Le digo, por favor, a ustedes que vean, I petition you to see the persecuted Christ as the persecuted immigrant today. If you recall in the Bible, King Herod put forth the order to have the Christ child killed, the Messiah slaughtered. And what had to happen? Mary and Joseph had to cross the river Styx to flee with the Christ child. The same way so many immigrants today, they're fleeing persecution, crossing the Rio Grande, crossing into freedom, only to be called illegal, only to be called aliens. And then you have all these televangelists and all these so-called Christians. They love Christ on Sunday and they hate immigrants on Monday. My Christ speaks of love. Mi Cristo habla del amor. Cuando yo veo un inmigrante, yo no veo un monstruo, yo no veo un ilegal. Yo veo un padre trabajando duro para su familia. When I see an immigrant father working hard for his family, I don't see a monster. And I have to tell you, I'm a Mexican Methodist minister working in New Orleans, y a veces lo único que me queda es llorar con mi gente. I'll share a story with you. An immigrant father coming back from Chalmette, the suburb, coming back to Chalmette, working in New Orleans, pulls up to his driveway. His wife, his children looking through the window. He pulls up with his truck, and another truck pulls up and intercepts him. Viene otro camión, salen hombres con pistolas a robarle al inmigrante, ¿no? Porque saben que el trabajador, el obrero inmigrante, tiene efectivo. So another truck intervenes, pulls into the driveway. The mother and the children are watching, they're screaming, "Dejen a mi papá, dejen, leave my father alone." The men pull out guns to rob the immigrant father, to rob his truck, to rob him of the cash. And he resists because he's a man. Él pone una pelea. One of them takes a gun, hits him over the head. The father drops to the floor, his head bleeding. The children, "Dejen a mi papá, dejen a mi papá, leave my father alone," screaming through the windows. They share this story with me. Lo único que me queda es llorar. I have to cry with them. And then you have a situation where immigrants early on, people were robbing them, seeing them as walking ATMs, to be robbed and withdraw money from them. That's a disgrace, and there are contractors who hire immigrants, who hired them to do their jobs, to stay on for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then do not pay them, and instead threaten to call immigration or pull out a gun. El que le roba al inmigrante, eso es odio contra el inmigrante. El trabajador esperando del dinero para regresar a su familia, para ayudar a su familia aquí, and send a little money back to his country of origin. No, I don't see an illegal alien. I see a man working hard for his family. And what does it say on your Statue of Liberty? What does it say? Give us your tired, give us your wretched, give us your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That is a petition for the immigrants. Yearning to breathe free. Does it say in parentheses, the Irish immigrants only, the Jewish, the Polish, all immigrants, Italians, have all come here under less than favorable circumstances. Would you not agree?
Yes.
I heard this was a lively congregation. Yes, immigrants have come here fleeing for a better life. Your Statue of Liberty. No. Hate against the immigrant. No, love the immigrant.
El amor es radical. El odio es reaccionario. Hate is reactionary. Love is radical. El amor es radical.
José Torres-Tama, a 31-year-old Ecuadorian real estate broker, was beaten to death with an aluminum baseball bat on the streets of Brooklyn on December 7, 2008, exactly a month after Marcel Lucero was killed. His three assailants kicked him and beat him with the baseball bat, shouting anti-Latino slurs and anti-gay slurs because he was walking arm in arm with his brother. They were tipsy and coming back from a party, and Jose and his brother had been mistaken for being gay. His brother managed to escape, but Jose died at the hospital. Jose was a legal resident and respected professional businessman in his community. His assailants were African American. Latino and African American groups decried the murder as a hate crime.
Exalted
Latino immigrants, are we the new evildoers in the so-called land of the free? Or are we the hybrid cosmic race of a more evolved future? Nosotros somos una raza cósmica. Latino immigrants here. No human being is illegal. Ningún ser humano es ilegal. El odio es reaccionario. El amor es radical. Love is radical. Love is radical. Hate is reactionary. Gracias, thank you. Thank you. Gracias, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gracias. Thank you. It gives me such a great pleasure to be back on the road and here at GALA Hispanic Theatre, which commissioned this piece, which was informed by interviews with many immigrant people in the cities of Houston, New Orleans, and here in DC. So it's part of a docu-theater process, simplemente para traer el cuento de nuestra gente a los escenarios y a ustedes. Así que gracias por venir, gracias por estar aquí. Y creo que tenemos un programito para cualquier pregunta. Si yo sé que algunos a lo mejor se tienen que ir. I know that some of you may have to go because after a show like this, you want to take a couple of shots of tequila, no?